Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, boys and girls. Today, day 5 of solving radical equations, we're going to hit basically the same thing we hit yesterday. Most of you did pretty well. A couple people still dragging a little bit. Want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And we don't want to proceed too fast through this stuff. We want to make sure everybody's getting everything before we start getting any harder in any of our things. A couple of quick reminders. We are solving equations. So the way you solve an equation is by the inverse operation. If you see addition, you subtract. If you see subtraction, you add. If you see multiplication, a number next to a letter's multiplication, you divide. If you see division, you multiply. If you see a square, you square root. If you see a square root, you square both sides of the equation. And again, like I just said, the basic fundamental rule of algebra, whatever you do to one side of an equation, you have to do to the other. If you remember those things, rolling through this, pretty easy. Here we go. I see a square root on the entire left-hand side. So I know that I need to undo that with squared. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I do to the other side of the equation. And again, this is day 5 of solving these radicals. So if you need more explanation of why square root and squareds undo each other, go back to some of those other lessons where I explain it a little bit more in depth. All you really need to know at this point, and you should know at this point, is square root squared is going to give me just the stuff inside the radical it's getting out. 8 squared is 64. So now I just need to solve the equation for x. Add 7 to both sides. X equals 71. Again, square root is the only thing on this left-hand side of the equation. So what am I going to do? I'm going to square it. Square both sides of the equation. So now I have just plain old 3x. 6 squared is 36. Solve the equation to get x by itself. Divide by 3. X equals 12. Number 3. Square root all by itself. The opposite of square root is squared. You know it. I square both sides of the equation. This comes out to be x plus 5. This comes out to be 16. Solve the equation. Minus 5. X equals 11. Why am I not checking these? Well, that's a great question, because the other day, a couple days ago, we checked all of them and none of them worked. Remember, what were the problems that did not work? Okay? See if you think about it. Give me a second. When we squared negative numbers. When we square a negative number, the answers came out to be no solution. Okay? It didn't check, it was extraneous. So, if you square a negative number, you need to double check it to see if your answer works or not. Okay? Sometimes, most of the time, no. So, that's why I haven't bothered to check any of these. Here, we got a square root, so I am squaring both sides of the equation. 6x is 36. Divide to finish. X is 6. Bing, bang, boom. Like I said, same stuff as yesterday. Going a little slower, making sure everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody's up to date. Take care of yourselves. Mental, physical, emotional. You need anything, reach out to me. Not doing a Google Meet. Nobody's really reached out to me with questions, and grades have been pretty good. If you're struggling, reach out to me. Let me know. Hit me up on Classroom. Hit me an email or Hangouts. Reach out to me. Let me know if you're struggling. We can set something up and go over some things one-on-one. All right, boys and girls. Take care. See ya.